I'm Geeta Nadkarni. I'm the founder of Impact with Influence and Baby Got Booked. So I know Brad is super duper successful. He's a branding specialist and business theorist, and he's worked with some of the people that I most admire, including some of my own mentors like Jesse Itzler and Frank Shamrock and Brian Tracy and people like that. So it's really great. I trust him. When he gives me advice, even if I'm resistant to it at first, and I was resistant to some of the advice he gave me last week, I'm like, you know what? You're actually right. And then because I trust him, instead of just being like, nah, that's not going to work for me, I'm able to ask more questions so that I can understand his vision. I'm much more willing to come and lean over and kind of look at the idea from his vantage point. And that's exactly what happened last week. And I just opened up a whole new way of serving people in my tribe that I was really resisting, because I was like, oh, is it going to be more work? Is it going to be a distraction? I don't want any more distractions. I really want to pick my lane and keep going. And he showed me how I had created an either or. You know how I feel about duality. If you don't, just scroll down this page and you'll see I talk about it all the time. I had created an either or in my life where I was just like, well, I can only do, like, my one thing is creating more content and learning myself and putting that story out there all the time in a way that serves people. But there are a lot of people who need my help specifically with their messaging, and they're not able to go with me all the way up to my main Impact with Influence program. Is there a way for me to serve them? And I kept getting requests for this over and over and over. And I was like, oh, someday, at some point, I'll figure this out. And Brad was like, no, dummy, you already have it. It's right in front of your nose. And this is exactly what I do for my clients. So it was really awesome to get that feedback. He was able to show me how I could do it immediately. And we've already sold 3 spots. Like, it was the easiest thing in the world in this last week. Just putting that out there. It's brilliant. And what's beautiful about this, and the reason it worked so well, again, is because I trusted Brad. He's very, very good at what he does. And he's able to see my big vision the way that I am. He really buys my vision for myself. And so he is like, Geeta, if you want to turn into that, if you want to grow up to be that, here's what the growth looks like today. Here's what the growth looks like in this moment. And he's holding me accountable to that higher standard constantly. And he's able to see potential in me that sometimes I'm not looking for it, because I might be distracted, or I might be fearful, or I might be resistant. And sometimes it's because he's really just seeing it. Like, he is seeing something that I am not able to see. And that has been so instrumental.